It was revealed in Summer Games Fest that we'll be getting a remake of Resident Evil Code Veronica. Jesus, Capcom, not even a couple months and you're already popping out a new game? But in all seriousness, I'm really excited to see what this game has in store for us. So in today's video, I'm gonna be listing just a few things that I hope to see in this remake.
Hey, didn't you already talk about this?
Yes, I know I've already made a whole wishlist video about a potential Code Veronica remake, but now it's official, so we're doing it again. I'll be going through this trailer bit by bit and basically give a quick rundown of what I'd like to see most in this remake. So if you're curious to see my full wish list, it'll be linked down below. Now, let's begin, starting with a tone shift. Right off the bat, I think this trailer has already made a huge improvement over the original. It begins with Claire Redfield trying to find her brother Chris in Paris. This time, instead of infiltrating an umbrella facility, you apparently visit a hotel where your brother is staying at, with an elderly caretaker greeting you. This is a huge tonal shift from the original, but I like it. It sets up an eerie tone where everything seems nice and calm until everything goes to shit. And it doesn't even deviate too much from how the original started, since it ends the same way with Claire getting kidnapped and brought to Rockford Island. So just changing the location and giving it a slower paced mystery vibe is a really smart decision, and it makes much more sense for this remake. While I am gonna miss the original's goofy nuts to butts action packed opening, I think this change was well needed. Rewritten characters. This one is to be expected because while Code Veronica has some memorable characters, some are a bit one-dimensional. If this game is going for a more serious tone, then I'm pretty sure there'll be some tweaks in their personality. One character that I have a feeling will be changed the most is probably Steve. I hope that they can dive deeper into his backstory and express that more in his character. In the original, he starts off acting like a kid, and even after learning about his tragic past, he's still kind of annoying, which sucks because I actually like Steve. I would also want this remake to give more attention to the nothing side characters, like Rodrigo. You barely see him in most of the game. He's only important for like one or two things, and then bam, he gets eaten. At least give him a better treatment than that helicopter dude in Resident Evil 9. As for the villains, I think Alexia won't need that much rewriting. I think she's perfect as she is. Alfred, on the other hand,
I so want to enjoy this.
I'm curious to see what they'll do with him. More playable Steve sections. One slight thing I hope to see in this remake is to be able to play as Steve more often. In the original, Steve is mainly involved in the cutscenes, and whenever you do get to play as Steve, it doesn't really last for more than 5 minutes. Maybe they'll replace some of the annoying sections that Claire used to have, and they'll just give them to Steve. I just hope that this remake gives Steve a more important role, and at least allows us to play as him more. And I do have a slight feeling that Capcom will probably do that, and probably make us cry for him. Scarier monster designs. This one's a given. Obviously there will be redesigns, but I'm really curious on how they'll enhance the grotesqueness and the creep factor of the original monsters. I've already got a couple ideas of how these enemies would look like, but I would like to see how Capcom would redesign these new enemies, like the Bandersnatches, the Hunters, and even the Gulpworm. And personally, I hope they put the most effort into creating their boss characters, like the Tyrant and Nosferatu, making them look scary and badass. Expand the old areas. Just from looking at the few shots they show of Rockford Island, it seems that the old areas will still be intact, but with a few slight changes and extra polish. One thing that I noticed about the new palace compared to the old one is how there's a double staircase now instead of the original one staircase. And the doors have switched spots as well, with it being now in the center where the front desk was originally at. So I imagine that they'll be doing what they did for the other remakes and adjusting the original level structure while still making it recognizable to old fans. Another thing I expect to see is them reworking or at least switching up the old puzzles. And I also wouldn't be surprised if they included some kind of collectibles like the Mr. Raccoons from the previous games. But instead, I would imagine it would be something Dragonfly related. Anyways, I expect Capcom to polish up these old areas and maybe even adding some extra stuff to them. Fixing the dual guns. This is a small little critique, but I feel like it's worth mentioning. I hope they fix how the dual pistols work. In the original Code Veronica, these guns are able to aim at 2 enemies at once, which is cool, but as I said before in my wishlist video, it's a lot easier said than done. I'm willing to bet that they might go the easier route with this one and make the dual guns just like normal guns, you know, aiming with LT and then shooting with RT. But I think a more interesting method would be to shoot both guns individually with both the left and right triggers. I think this idea could work, but the only downside would be is that you can't aim properly. Or maybe they'll keep the aiming and just have you shoot the guns individually using the right trigger and the right bumper. I hope whenever they reveal any kind of gameplay, they could demonstrate how the guns work. I mean, for Christ's sakes, they had a full shot in the trailer and they played an important role in the beginning of the story, so the least they could do is show how the dual pistols work. Anyway, whatever they decide to do, I hope they can fix this slight little problem. Bonus content. Lastly, what I'd like to see in this remake is bonus content. Yeah, it's a bit underwhelming, and the chances of this actually happening are more than likely since Resident Evil is known for having fun side content in their games, now in the form of DLC that releases months after launch, which is kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But I would like to see what kind of interesting side modes they would add to this remake. Whether it be a revamped version of Gun Game, a spin-off, Mercenaries, or even something story related, I just hope that this remake won't skip out on the bonus content. And there you have it. Now that Code Veronica is officially getting remade, I think it'd be interesting to see more information come about this game, and also keeping track of what I said on my wish list to see what things I've gotten right or what things I was so far off on. If you have any ideas that you'd like to see in this remake, please leave it in the comments below, and I'll be sure to check them out. If you like this video, please give it a huge thumbs up, and if you want, why not subscribe? Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Peace out.